Dear colleagues, I hope you are having a nice day, and greetings from Vasyl Stus Donetsk National University in Vinnytsia, Ukraine. My name is Alexander Beresko. I am a project manager of OPTIMA, an Erasmus Plus project aimed at bringing open science to Ukraine. And today, Giulia Malaguarnera and me will present you some nice and interesting things about open science. And I will now let Giulia introduce herself, but before that, I would like to say that we are starting our 4-day event at Vasyl Stus Donetsk National University. It is a multiplication event, and it is primarily focused on the academic communities of Ukrainian displaced universities. So, dear friends from Ukrainian displaced universities and other universities in Ukraine and worldwide, actually, you are welcome to join. And our first webinar is starting now. So all the event is within the frames of International Open Access Week 2021. And we will, of course, tell you about open access, as it is the foundation of open science and all related things. Okay, we are now streaming live on Facebook, and you are most welcome to comment and send us messages, questions, everything. I will collect them and pass them to Giulia. Giulia, the stage is yours, please.
Thank you so much, Alexander, for the kind introduction. And I'm very happy and honored today to have several hats. So today I will make you a long presentation. First of all, speaking about Eurodoc policy for early career researchers in open science. Then I will go in deep in the Open Research Europe platform for Horizon beneficiaries. And at the end, I will speak about EOSC and OpenAIRE and the service that support open science practices. So I will start to share my screen. I think I need Alexander, I need your help.
Please check it now.
Okay. Yes, perfect. Okay, so let me share the screen. Sorry again, just a second. I don't see the button. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so open science for early career researchers. So I'm now speaking as an Open Science Ambassador that Eurodoc formed in 2019 through a program on training on open science. What is Eurodoc? So Eurodoc is a federation of now 29 national associations who represents early career researchers, so PhD candidates and postdoctoral researchers in Europe. It's a registered non-profit organization established in 2002 and based in Brussels. It's independent, self-financed, and run exclusively for and by early career researchers in voluntary capacities. Sorry, I think this is best. Okay, perfect. We represent early career researchers on matters of education, research, and career development in Europe. We are really taking care about the quality of doctoral program, and we want to improve working conditions for early career researchers. We share information, raising awareness. We organize events. We join in debates to shape policy in the European context, in particular in the Council of Europe and in the European Commission, in which we have several representation. We establish and promote cooperation between national associations for early career researchers, in which we are contributing also inside the ministries to work and support the education and the research related issue for early career researchers. Of course, in this context, open science is shaping the policy in Europe. And in particular, we embrace the European Commission vision on opening up research and innovation. In fact, the European Commission in 2016 published a big document called 3O, which was open innovation, open science, and open to the world. This was a very important commitment that the European Commission did in order to promote and foster open science in Europe. In fact, with the new framework program, which is called Horizon Europe, and it starts this year, the open science commitment is much high, and basically it's mandatory for all the beneficiaries of the Horizon program. We know, unfortunately, that researchers are unaware of open science practices and policies. This is why in Eurodoc we provide training and we support early career researchers to make open science in practices. We run also webinars, and the last we did was in the right retention strategy and in Open Research Europe that I will explain later. Eurodoc is fostering also what are the transferable skills for early career researchers. The transferable skills are all the competence that the researchers are acquired during the PhD training. And in this context, of course, open science is included because open science is not different from what we are doing in the common practices. In fact, open science is just sharing openly all the research workflow, and in particular the skills that we are having during the training in doctoral programs can be related in open science, like publishing in open access, which is the most common and the most visible, but also the data management that can be done transparently. Open education, so sharing the slides or all the presentation that we are doing in our conference, or the posters that we can publish, for instance, in Zenodo or on other archives. Open licensing, so we can have the control of all the research output that we are producing by changing the licensing. Open methodology, so we can publish also the methods that we are producing, and so on. So also the software, whatever we are doing in our classical research, even the notes. And as we have seen, the digitalization in Europe is also fostering, in particular now with the in the context of the COVID-19, that really challenge all of us to be more digital. And of course, this is part of our skill set. We also in Eurodoc have other initiatives in open science. We have a working group which is closed, so we can share openly our issue, and we have also experts inside this working group. We do training and we collaborate in projects in open science as the OPTIMA project, the EOSC and the Open Research Europe. We also participate actively in the policies that are present in open science in Europe. In particular, we collaborated in the Plan S, in the statements and in the implementation guidance. We endorsed the European Commission Manifesto in the COVID-19. We also offered our input on the UNESCO Open Science recommendation that it's published, and we are continuing and progressing in the open science and in particular in the research assessment with the European Commission. So this is a timeline of the activity that we have done also in the context of COVID-19 pandemic. As I said before, we did also a survey on the difficulties that the early career researchers faced during the pandemic. We endorsed the European Commission Manifesto on open science during the COVID-19. We also worked with other stakeholders for the impact of COVID-19 and the research work. We contributed in supporting the European Commission grantees beneficiaries during the COVID-19, and we also try to increase the budget in the Horizon Europe, in particular for the Pillar 1, which is the one who is supporting most of the early career researchers. As I said, we collaborate with several stakeholders in the European Open Science Cloud that I will speak better later. And we also are part of the European Research Europe project. The European Research Europe project is a new platform that was launched this year in March. And it's basically an open science platform in which all the principles of DORA are met. And I will explain later how easy it is to use this platform. And I think it's just a very good example of all the services that support early career researchers, and not only, also other researchers to practice open science without with no anxiety related on how to manage, how to do what they should do. So these kind of services are really supporting open science in the practice. Eurodoc, in the context of the European Research Europe project, elaborate a survey in 2020, which is now going to be published in preprint probably in the next 2 weeks. We had the most of respondents from early career researchers who also was saying themselves that they are early career researchers, but the vocabulary in Europe is not easy. So sometimes people in Europe, they don't identify themselves as early career researchers because we have very different vocabulary. In Eurodoc, we don't like the idea of speaking about doctoral candidates as students. And the reason is that we think that we are professional since the beginning, as established in the European Charter and Code, which is specifically say that doesn't matter the career stage, But once you are starting to do research job, we ask to be considered as professional. So when we are speaking about early career researchers, we are also referring to doctoral candidates for the first day of enrollment in the PhD programs. So during this survey, we asked who is the early career researchers and if they have participated in the Horizon 2020 project. Most of them no, but it's also normal because in the early stage, it's very hard to be part of the Horizon programs. And we asked also what was the peer review experience they are having. And as you can see clearly in this graph, the experience in peer review is rising with the time, with the experience they are having in general in publishing articles. We asked what are the main factors to publish a research output. And unfortunately, because of the metrics that are now established in everywhere worldwide, most of the people said that the biggest factor to publish a research output is the journal impact factor. We are working with the European Commission to change these parameters, to change the metrics, because we believe that we need to change the research culture that is based on publish or perish. We don't want quantity over quality. We are pushing forward open science that should help the researchers to publish in a transparent way, in following the DORA principles, following the quality, following the FAIR principle. So any research output should be findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable. And we know that the hardest point is the reusability. And this is why it's important to publish, for instance, the method, for instance, the note, and what else is behind our research product, which is not just the final article, which is important as well. We also wondering if our respondent was feeling happy to or reward to do peer review. And unfortunately, we didn't have such enthusiasm. Most of the people are not feeling rewarded at all to do open peer, to do peer reviews. And there are several reasons why. First, it's not rewarded in the metrics. So when you are doing, when you are working in the research, you don't feel rewarded in contributing in others' research. And this is a problem because we are living in a big community. We have seen that with the COVID-19, which was a pandemic, so a worldwide issue. If we are all collaborating together, we can move faster to innovation. We can produce vaccine in very few time. And we really can do something that is bootstrapping, innovative, and all the society can benefit of it. So doing review is really important in our society and in our research work, and do it openly can be a way to show the collaboration, the contribution that we can have. So we believe that this changing the peer review from blind peer review to open peer review, we can also give credit to our colleagues who are providing important information to improve research. Sorry. So what are the features that we should consider most important? Most of the respondents in our survey said that the biggest feature of open science is open access. But this is also because most of the people know open access more than any other principles. And I'm very happy that for almost 42% of our respondents say the reproducibility of the research, which is of course fundamental in the research workflow, because it means that we can have bigger data, we can have bigger support, and people can really trust about research, which is not the case at the moment. It's also interesting that a lot of people are not understanding, are not known some practices. For instance, the open research notes is one of the practices that is less known, as well as citizen science, which is how to involve a citizen in making research. But with time, we are sure that this is going to change. Eurodoc wants to foster the open science knowledge, and we want to keep early career researchers in the loop of open science by sharing information, raising awareness, and to enable early career researchers to do open science in a fairly way. We also provide feedback on effectiveness, efficiency, user experience on platform, infrastructure, and services for our community. And we are also supporting the testing of new platform and new services that are provided in Europe. And we are helping to spreading surveys among our members who are national associations. And so the first part of my presentation is end. I will stop to take some questions if there are. So are there any questions for the moment?
Looks like not many, but maybe there will be more later on. Okay, so perhaps Giulia, you want to make some short break, right? Or no?
I can continue with the next part, which usually take more questions. So I will go for the second part, and
okay.
Let's see. Okay, so the second part regards.
We can. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I mean that I will collect all the questions from, and ask them to you at the end of the presentation.
Okay, so meanwhile, I will speak about Open Research Europe, and if you have a question from the previous talk, please do not hesitate to do it, to ask. I'm very happy to answer questions. So, Open Research Europe. I will explain you the idea behind Open Research Europe, why, who, and what. Why? So Open Research Europe, as I said before, is a publishing platform that the European Commission asked to make. And F1000 was the one to take the responsibility to create this platform by meeting the DORA principles. And in fact, this platform is guaranteeing the high quality, the reliability, and efficiency of the research outputs publication. The standard are very high because they are meeting the open science principle. And the promise of this publication is to be rapid and transparent in all the process. It means that it will be now it's now currently you can publish the preprint, so everything will be available once you are submitting, just after the editorial checks that are standardized and in very high quality. So there is an editorial checks that usually it's around 1 week or maximum 2 weeks, and then the preprint is published in the platform. And after this preprint, what happened is that there is a process on open peer review. And the author can suggest reviewers, and also can be supported by a special algorithm to choose the most important or the closest to the topic authors or other reviewers. And at the end, after the revision is made, you can re-upload very easily the new articles that we have the same DOI. And you can keep reviewing and having a live document, live articles in the web page of Open Research Europe. What else? It's very supported by a good scientific advisory board, which include experts in different research areas and in different career stages. So we have from early career researchers to senior researchers inside this advisory board. And what is very important is that there is no cost for authors and beneficiaries of Horizon 2020 for the moment, but also for Horizon Europe that just started. So whenever the research output for Horizon Europe will be ready, it will be included also in this platform. So Open Research Europe, as I said before, has a contract with the F1000 for 4 years. It's involving early career researchers from Eurodoc, but also from Global Young Academy, which are containing most junior PIs. And it's also supported by LIBER, which is the Association of Librarians. We are all collaborating as and subcontracted from some tasks. And OpenAIRE, in which I am now the outreach and engagement officer, is also assisting in the communication and the development of interoperability and interconnection of the platform. What does it mean? That OpenAIRE is supporting with technical infrastructure. It's supporting in the business process and the sustainability task, and is supporting the communication, while GYA, LIBER, and the Eurodoc are mainly in the project management and in the communication. And all of them are also in the sustainability process. So as you can see, it's not just about publisher, but it's made by a community that is trying to develop and to provide feedback and to support this platform. So not only from the founders side. So yeah, it's a rapid and transparent publishing system. This is the website. It's meeting the European Commission ambition, because what we want what the European Commission wanted for Open Research Europe was to be an example in publishing with meeting the open science principle, and in particular for the open peer review, for the preprints, for supporting new research metrics and assessment. It's contributing in the transparency and the cost benefits. So while for the authors there is no cost in publishing this platform, the European Commission is covering this publication, and they have just gave in the wall project, in the wall management, so it's not just for the publication, but it's containing more, 780 euro. Sorry, billion, I forgot, I think. Well, sorry, here it's better said. So it's for the community development, for the submission to publication checks, for the peer review management, for the pre-publication checks, the services after the publication, the platform development, the marketing and the business development, and authors and the user support. So it's not just for covering the APC cost. What else to say about ORE? The support is for submission of original articles in peer review. So what is important to say is that Open Research Europe is not a repository, but it's like a journal that we call a publishing platform, because it's everything digital, it's not print. It's a rapid open access because everything is openly shared from the preprints to the revision. And of course, the copyright license enables the reuse of the contents. And this is very important because there is no retention of intellectual properties from the authors, which is one of the biggest things that is detaching from all the predatory journals. It enables open peer review, which are the revision are published, and this is contributing more for let's say for changing the mindset. So the reviewers will not demolish your work. It's more a contribution that is made to the research outputs. So it's made for improving. It's not made to destroying. And this is a big change in particular for the early career researchers who are facing a hard moment during the PhD preparation for the thesis, and also for the management of their research. It's also hyperconnect, and there is availability in the text and data mining. What else? Of course, and this is something that I really love about Open Research Europe, is the new generation metrics. So since F1000 is one of the design of the DORA principles, what you will see is that each article has a matrix on the side that is based on the visualization, on the download, and on the suitability of the product, of the research output. And so this is help to give importance or to share what are the impact of the article itself. Moreover, is clear, accessible, and transparent in the policy and in the process. Every guidelines you can find in our website is aligned with the European principles and the regulation, because there is a continuous interaction with the European Commission. And it's an example also with other funders. In fact, F1000 is running also other platform, for instance, with the Wellcome Trust, by providing another platform like Wellcome Open Research, which is for the Wellcome Trust beneficiaries. The Wellcome Trust is the biggest funders in UK, but they are also working with other funders. How does it work? What is the editorial model? So you submit the articles, which is published, and you can deposit your data, for instance, in Zenodo. Of course, the editorial team will support the author in this phase. So if you need more support on the data publishing, they can support you. Then the articles, once is uploaded, will go to open peer review. And after, you can send you can send and indexed all the articles in the data research output in the repository. So here is an example of preprint, and what I want to show you is that the preprint can be cited. So here you can see that there is already a citation, even if it's waiting for a peer review. There is also the numbers of the views, of the download, and I think it's amazing. So I hope that you will share my feelings in this different system of publication. Moreover, another interesting thing is that you can see the review reports made it open, but also what you can do is that you can acknowledge all the people that are providing support in the revision of the article. So maybe they are not author of the article itself, but they review already since the beginning. You can have all of them here, and knowledge also connected with their ORCID. So there is a visibility and credit for all the reviewers. And we think this is gonna change what we have asked in the survey from Eurodoc. It will take some time, but we are confident that the research mindset will change soon. Here another example. So this is how you can see openly the peer review. Of course, what is changing in the research assessment matrix is that there are some pilots that want to reshare inside and give credit to open peer review. So it's important that you are championing open peer review in your research activities, because probably not tomorrow, but I hope the next year or in 2 years, this will be a common practice. So start to do peer review. Thanks to the Open Research Europe, as also other platform powered by F1000, you can also share the data availability, which can be on Zenodo, but can be also in other archives. So as you can see here are the Copernicus data. The data set are clearly states. There is also the Creative Commons license. The software are available in GitHub or in other sources. Basically, everything is transparent, and it's also to support any kind of researcher to reproduce the research output, which is great. Open Research Europe is not just for STEM, it's for all the research areas. So it's also for social science, it's also for humanities. So even if you want to publish a book and not just a manuscript, you can do in Open Research Europe. There is also different type of articles, and the contents can be posted in the website from areas or from projects or for the type of Horizon project. For instance, in the Horizon project, the pillar 1, which is the one who is giving more grants to early career researchers, is formed by Mercury Actions program. There is the ERC, and there is also the research infrastructure. So in that, you can browse, for instance, by Mercury, individual fellow projects, and I can see the articles that are there. And it's quite interesting because if you are writing a proposal on the Mercury project, so you can also browse directly in Open Research Europe and see what are the output at the end of the Mercury project. So you can have the vision before applying to any grants. Oh, sorry. And here is also the type of articles you can see. So the launch was in March 2021. Sorry for half of the slides in Italian. So here you can see that Zenodo is one of the main archive for the publication of article and metadata. But you can also do a cross-reference with F1000 and Preprint. In 4 years, there is also the collaboration with the institutional repository, thanks also to Liber and OpenAIRE that are supporting the contents that you will be also find in the IOSC. There is an indexing database. So now the Open Research Europe has the DOAG indexing, and probably in the future there will be also for Scopus and Web of Science. As I said, the scientific advisory board is composed by 25 members from all areas that are present in the Frascati manual. Most of them are European, but not only. The researchers that are in the advisory board are from different career stage. The role that they have is to suggest and support guidelines and editorial policies, providing and supporting the strategy and the sustainability of the project, and support the publisher in the challenges that can be present from the researchers and the authors' side. There will be a demo for Librarian very soon, and here there is the link in which you can attend another demo, a live demo. And now I will speak a little bit more on the publishing experience that I've done, because I published in Open Research Europe.
Giulia, please continue, but just want to remind us that we have 15 minutes left, and also please reserve some time for questions. So because we will have another presentation. Thanks a lot.
Okay, sorry. So okay, so this are the main reason why I believe that it's useful to publish in Open Research Europe, because also is easy to report in the tender portal, and also everything is included in the open research practices. It's very easy to use. So this is the platform. It's connected with your ORCID. You can download the doc file to provide the update, and also there are the guidelines for open peer review. And it's important for everyone, and now you can volunteer to be a reviewer. If you are using the QR code here, you can email the editorial office and propose yourself to be a reviewer. So thank you. I think I will stop now for the questions, and let's see if I have more time to speak about other services.
Giulia, you definitely
maybe in the future.
you definitely will have. So I just want to perhaps a little bit summarize this section very briefly. So first important question is, you mentioned different science skills, right? In the first part of the presentations, which open science skills do you consider the most important? I mean, data, reviewing, publishing. What is the most important skills nowadays?
Okay. I will answer in a very strange way. For me, the most important competence that skills that you are having thanks to open science is the contribution and the networking that you can do. But probably this is more because I am more a social and inclusive person. So for me, as it matters how you share the knowledge, as is the topic of this Open Access Week. So how you are contributing, how you are inclusive. This is the biggest skills that you will have in the life. So to support people, to support contribution to, for me, maybe open innovation and how to foster that.
Okay, thanks so much. And then next question. So Eurodoc is represented early career researchers in Europe, right? And early career researchers are a group which has many, let's say, issues with many things, right? So they are sometimes don't have enough skills for their research and everything, don't have enough resources often. So very practical. What will open science give early career researchers if they practice it?
For this question, because I cannot cover everything, so I will answer to this question with what was supposed to be the third presentation. So what the European Commission is offering beside the publishing platform is also EOSC, which is the European Science Cloud of Open Science. In EOSC, you can find catalogs also of trainings, which you can do in open science, and they help you with the services, browsing services, and trying to understand what to do to manage your data set. I think the hardest part, because we are not trained enough to share openly, is the data management for early career researchers. And when we are looking at the surveys, also in EOSC, one of the, let's say, heartbreaking answer was about the fact that one early career researcher answered that they feel alone in this process. And what we want to do is through EOSC and through the training and to the services that also OpenAIRE is providing to offer this kind of support. You are not alone to do open science. We are a big community, big services provider that will support early career researchers to make open science in practices. So do not hesitate to contact me directly via social networks and whatever. I will be happy to help you.
Okay, another tricky question for you. So regarding the platform, Open Research Europe, it sounds very good, and everyone, many researchers have seen this beautiful, let's say, stages of interaction, right? So the question is, if this platform and platforms alike are successful, do we still need journals?
This is a personal decision. I mean, there are several open science journals that also provide the print services. It's true that what we are carrying is also a green alignment. So the digitalization is supporting us to avoid the consume of papers. So probably in the new generation, we are taking less care about printing. And most of the publishing journals are now also digital. So it really depends on personal decision and a personal, let's say, taste.
Sorry, I wasn't there. Okay, so another question is, some people consider preprints dangerous as they can lead to, let's say, publication of, let's say, errors, right, or fake things. But Open Research Europe is, and not only Open Research Europe, but many other publishers are for preprints now, and it is a big part of open science rapid publication. What do you think of it, and how this thing can be mitigated?
I think what is happening in general with open science is that the research ethic is completely different. Once you are publishing the methods, once you are publishing in the details also your notes, what is supporting what you are writing in the final publication, the preprint is not dangerous at all. And even it's not such the beginning, because you are publishing other things, other data set, other information about the research activity that you have conducted. So the preprint is not dangerous at all, but is giving the credit to the authors to be able to share the original papers, because the fact is that it's true that when we are going to revision, the tendency is to improve the articles, but also sometimes the soul of the article is changing. And if you can see what a preprint was and how the evolution of the article is having, is not bad. I think it's great. On the contrary, for me, it's like you can see the soul of the article as the authors have done the conceptualization, but also you can see how other researchers are contributing in make it better or make it more understandable, or questioning, because the questions are important, the doubts are important, and it's impossible not having doubt, because we are human, that we are doing research. And the research is just about answering questions or trying to find or to understand what the data are showing. So it's just part of the process. It's not something that is dangerous at all. On the contrary, is protecting you.
Thanks, Giulia. And actually, we have 3 minutes left because we have another speaker. And I can offer you two options, some extra questions, or you just share perhaps one of the screens about OpenAIRE and perhaps give your contacts. Perhaps you go with the second option if you may, right?
Okay, so well, just briefly, Open Science is about opening up the research process. So it's not just about publication, but it's also about the conceptualization, the review, the data gathering, the analysis, and whatever. What we do in OpenAIRE is to shift the scholarly communication towards openness and transparency. We have 3 pillars, which are based on services, policies, and training. So we are part of EOSC. And in EOSC, we are offering a training catalog, a services catalog, and in particular, the newest catalog is OpenAIRE Nexus. And we are also offering the research graph that is showing your activity in open science. And briefly, I will just explain what is Nexus. So Nexus is a collection of services that are helping and supporting the researchers in publishing services. In particular, Zenodo is part of OpenAIRE, and it's like the main archive for data, any research output, presentation, as I said before. Argos is supporting you in the data management, and in particular, starting from the data management plan, but also to upload the database and to be as open as possible and as closed as necessary. In fact, all the publication that you want to share can be easily connected to Zenodo, and this is the big advantage you have. But if you want to disclose, you can also have a closure of data privacy that are compliant with the GDPR, thanks to Amnesia, which is a software that you can download to anonymize the data, and not just in a pseudo anonymization, but also fully anonymization, also based on the activity that you are doing. There are also journals that are directly powered from the OpenAIRE Nexus that are from IP Science, and they are all connected to this. You can discover data, you can access to other database. You can also check the citation in Open Science. There are also services that are just for nations, like Observatory, who is showing the activity on the institution in Open Science. There is the monitor that is more connected to the funders to monitor the open science activities, and so on. All of this will be visible in what we call a research graph. The research graph it will be also integrated to the EOSC portal. What the research graph is doing and what OpenAIRE is doing through the research graph is that we have several services that are providing by OpenAIRE Nexus, but not only, also all the services included in the EOSC portal that will harvest this data, will deduplicate the data, and we will able to have text mining. So you will have in the research graph, you can see all the data, the metadata that are open, complete, deduplicated, transparent, participatory, because we are including all the service in Europe as much as we can. It's decentralized, so we don't own the data. Who is the owner of the data is you as a researcher. And it's trusted because it's connected to your ORCID. And this was in a nutshell what I want to say about OpenAIRE, but feel free to contact me and to have more information also from the services in Open Science.
Giulia, thanks so much for this very interesting and very engaging and inspiring presentation. And I guess all of you learned many new things, and now you know whom you can disturb, right?
Yes.
And contact with all the questions. So please feel free to. Giulia, many thanks once again, and we are moving to our next presentation. So please switch off to other video. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.